Coming up, the search is suspended this morning for a missing toddler in Magoffin County. We will have more on what happens next. We're also learning more about the arrest of an airline pilot facing charges in a Western Kentucky murder case from years ago. And a Knox County man is facing rape charges after being accused of sexually assaulting a woman with a mental disability.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, May the 14th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. It's a chilly start to your Tuesday, and most importantly, it's a bit foggy for some of you in low-lying areas. As Brandon's going to tell you in a little bit, it's probably because of those temperature differences that we've seen. But at some point today, hopefully we warm up. Brandon, let's bring you in this morning. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, and not a whole lot of warmth today, but a little warmer than it was yesterday. Some spots didn't get out of the 50s yesterday. Jackson, I think, only got to about 53, so much warmer today across the board with the sunshine peeking out. We had a lot of cloud cover yesterday. This morning on top of Buffalo Mountain, not a whole lot of activity here in Perry County. Again, clearing skies as those clouds start to move out. A few more clouds over at Stonecrest, but they'll start to move over that way here before too long. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, clean scans across the board. Temperatures, or excuse me, visibility first, though. We see close to zero visibility in some areas, so be careful with that now. Temperatures down to 39 in Monticello. Continues to drop down that way. Some low 40s and upper 30s down in the Lake Cumberland area. I-75, but a little warmer toward the Big Sandy. Temperatures there in the mid to upper 40s. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. The search for a missing Magoffin County toddler is suspended this morning. 22-month-old Kenneth Howard was last seen around 7:30 Sunday night. Family members believe he may have walked out the back door of his home. WYMT's Justin Case has the latest on the search and what comes next.
Around 6:30 Monday evening, search crews officially suspended their search.
At this time, I just don't know. We're just trying to figure out where to go next.
At the scene, there were helicopters, drones with thermal cameras, canine search teams, off-road vehicles, and others searching on foot.
The dogs have done a tremendous job, plus ground. And so right now we just don't really have a clear idea. And if he's there in the area.
Carter Conley of Magoffin County Search and Rescue says crews have searched the wooded areas around the child's home over and over again.
The grid pattern was a half a mile radius from the house, and the search dogs did complete that. Actually, we've completed it several times.
He says crews likely lost one of their off-road vehicles because of the harsh and muddy conditions. Luckily, the driver is okay.
We've had to use a rope at a couple places and tie off so they could go down into a ravine and do their search in that situation. So it is be very dangerous.
When asked if he still has hope the boy will be found safe,
it's hard to say. There are circumstances that we can't talk about right now.
Officials say the child's parents are allowing other volunteers to search the area while the official search is suspended.
He just wants his son home alive, you know, like we all do.
Hoping for a positive outcome to an anxiety-filled situation.
That was Justin Case reporting again. Now, the search crews say they will not be back on the property again until they have new information from investigators. Meanwhile, a Texas community held a vigil for Malia Davis Sunday. She is the 4-year-old girl from the Houston area who disappeared earlier this month. Her mother's ex-fiancé, Darian Vence, was taken into custody this weekend. Authorities say the 26-year-old Vence is charged with tampering with a corpse. Vence first told police that Malia was kidnapped by 3 Hispanic men. However, evidence gathered by an investigator appears to poke holes in his story. He is being held on a $45,000 bond. New this morning, officials with the Williamsburg Police Department say an escaped inmate is back in custody. The woman police were looking for was last seen near the I-75 Visitors Center just north of Jellicoe, Tennessee. Police say before she was arrested by Knoxville police, she had escaped while being transferred from Georgia around 7 Monday evening. Officials have not provided the escapee's name. A man is on the run in southern West Virginia after police say he escaped home confinement. It happened Saturday in Logan County. Sheriff's deputies say 29-year-old Billy Tomlin of Verndonville cut off his ankle bracelet and then tried to steal a vehicle. We are told he was on house arrest for burglary. If you see him, you're asked to call police. A Bell County man faces some serious allegations this morning. This is Devin Singleton. State police arrested him yesterday afternoon. For a complaint warrant, we learned investigators say he abused a 3-month-old child in March. That child was taken to East Tennessee Children's Hospital. The warrant does not detail what he might have done. Singleton faces a first-degree assault charge. There is a delay in a Perry County murder trial. Jury selection in Harold Hayes' case was set to begin yesterday. Back in August, police say Hayes killed Terry Stidham. The shooting happened on Elm Shoal Branch in the Combs community. Hayes faces murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. The trial is scheduled for June 3rd. A Clay County grand jury will determine whether to indict a man in connection with an April deadly crash. Alfred Francis is charged with second-degree manslaughter. Investigators say he drove under the influence in April and slammed into J.D. Hacker's car. Hacker later died at a hospital. State troopers say Francis admitted to doing drugs prior to driving. As we first told you about on Sunday, an airline pilot is behind bars facing charges in connection with the triple murder case. Christian Martin was still in his pilot's uniform when police booked him into jail. A Christian County grand jury indicted him on 3 counts of murder and 1 count of arson. Investigators say he killed Calvin and Pamela Phillips and their neighbor Edward Dunsero in 2015. In an interview with CNN, Matt Phillips says his father was killed before he could testify in a court-martial trial against Martin.
I remember 2 years ago in this very room, 2 of the decedents, their son Matt, came in to talk to us. He was suffering and is suffering from the trauma that anyone who loses parents, especially this way, would have suffered. And he asked for help. He knew people were working hard on the case, but he asked for our help to make sure that it wouldn't be stalled, and he was worried that he wouldn't see justice for his parents.
Martin is being held at the Christian County Detention Center with no bond. He is facing murder, arson, burglary, and tampering with physical evidence charges. He will be arraigned May 22nd. Deputies in Laurel County are asking for your help to identify the suspects involved in a vehicle theft. We are told the 2 people are believed to be involved with the theft of a 2000 silver Jeep Wrangler from the Blue Beacon truck wash off West Cumberland Gap Parkway on Monday. If you know who these people are, you are asked to call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. A man in Knox County is charged with second-degree rape and sodomy. Police say the woman had a mental disability and was legally blind. Kentucky State Police say 71-year-old Clark Mills knew of the 29-year-old woman's disabilities. He then took the woman to a motel room he rented in Bell County. And when he took her back, the woman then told her mother what happened.
It's just a sad situation. We want to make sure that, just due to the circumstances, that we get to the bottom of it and make sure that it's fully investigated.
Mills says he knew the woman had a disability. He was her church bus driver. Well, imagine being the victim of an attack only to be turned away from your local emergency room. That's what's happening to sexual assault survivors from urban centers to rural communities, as many hospitals lack rape kits or the specialized nurses who administer them. Now, Congress is working on a way to change that. CBS's Natalie Brand introduces us to the woman who inspired national legislation.
In 2014, I was raped, and I went to the closest emergency room. They looked at me and shrugged their shoulders and said, "We don't do rape kits here."
Leah Griffin's case was never prosecuted, but she's fighting for justice of a different kind to make sure hospitals everywhere have rape kits and the trained nurses to administer them.
We don't know how many survivors walked away from a hospital and then didn't report.
Griffin, who lives in Seattle, Washington, reached out to her senator, Patty Murray.
This problem is the same in every big city, in every small community.
A Government Accountability Office report in 2016 requested by Senator Murray found glaring gaps in the system, a severe lack of data surrounding this issue, and a shortage of resources, especially in rural areas.
Victims just give up.
Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska says in some parts of her state, it requires a plane ride to get help.
That woman is told, don't bathe, don't change your clothes, sit here.
Murkowski is now a co-sponsor of Murray's bill, the Survivors Access to Supportive Care Act, making the effort bipartisan.
What I'm hearing from hospitals is, well, there's a cost. Yeah, there's a cost. But there's a cost to every individual who is raped or sexually assaulted and doesn't report, doesn't get their health care, and doesn't get justice.
People really understand that this is a problem, and it's not a controversial one. If a rape survivor goes to the hospital, she shouldn't be turned away without access to evidence collection.
Years after it happened to her, Leah Griffin says she'll keep working until the system changes. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
According to the International Association of Forensic Nurses, it is estimated only 17 to 20% of hospitals have sexual assault nurse examiners on staff.
A cool and foggy start to the day this morning. Some spots are in the upper 30s, especially down toward Lake Cumberland. Some fog across the area on the cameras. McKee this morning trying to build in there, so be extra careful if you're traveling across parts of that area this morning, UVA-wise. Cloud cover still hanging around there, but it will clear out as we go deeper into the morning hours. You can see that there on the satellite and radar. It's all clustered mainly into parts of southwest Virginia. There we go. Got more words out there right that time. 2.5 miles of visibility in Monticello, 5 in Ashland, 0 visibility Harlan and Williamsburg, 39 Monticello to 49 in Prestonsburg. That's your range this morning. A lot of lower temperatures out toward I-75 in the Cumberland Valley and beyond. 64 this afternoon, calm day ahead. Some clouds early and then sunshine later. It should warm up just a little bit. The warm-up trend continues as we head deeper into the week. Will?
Well, all righty. Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Hold on to your biscuits, literally. We will tell you about a special day related to the flaky buttermilk variety of one of our favorite breads. But first,
with more hotels going to the dogs, traveling with your best friend just got easier. I'm Ian Lee with how businesses are catering to customers with canines.